My name is Stephen Garrison. I will be talking to you today about acceptable use policies. What is an acceptable use policy? An acceptable use policy, or AUP, is a document that outlines a set of rules to be followed by users or customers of a set of computing resources, which could be a computer network, website, or large computer system. An AUP clearly states what the user is and is not allowed to do with these resources. This is taken from Techopedia 2016. Acceptable use policies discusses expectations on use of accessing computer network communities. Is established by the manager or owner of the internet website. Anyone who connects through the network system is held accountable by the acceptable use policy. And also, it requires users to be responsible with their account information. For example, if one's account were to be hacked or compromised, then they would be held accountable for the offense. Why should schools and districts have an acceptable use policy? At one point in time, technology was considered an auxiliary factor in education and the workplace. Today in society, technology is becoming more of an essential, especially in education. Acceptable use policies are beneficial because they hold both students and staff accountable when utilizing technology, display both readable and precise information, protects the school system, and or districts against illegal actions, and allows users protections from other users. I am a member of Prince George's County Public School System, and below you will find the link of the acceptable use policy for Prince George's County Public Schools. As I looked over this acceptable use policy, I found certain topics that were highlighted, which stretch from technology acceptable uses, web acceptable uses, process for reporting inappropriate use of the network or web, email services, prohibitions, consequences, and mobile devices. Communicating acceptable use policies with staff, teachers. Give teachers the information they need about any changes to the technology. Group trainings on acceptable use policy changes and updates. Provide teachers with the language they need to explain the acceptable use policies to parents and students. And finally, define clearly what is acceptable use and what is unacceptable use. Communicating and implementing acceptable use policies with students. When communicating the acceptable use policies with students, be sure to provide students with accurate information on the policy. Provide examples to assist with clarifications on the policies. Reveal networking and monitor system with the students so that they can witness it for themselves. Emphasize the importance of communicating with adults if they witness someone using a website inappropriately. And remind them that certain behaviors such as cyberbullying is not allowed. Communicating acceptable use policies with parents. When communicating acceptable use policies with parents, some things to consider are: provide examples of violations so parents can experience what their children see. Utilize the school district social media accounts to communicate with parents on the matter. Create a blog stating important AUPs, information and policies. Encourage the principal and administration to get involved with parent communication. Establishing an effective AUP environment for staff. AUPs not only serve as guidelines for students, but to teachers and staff as well. In order to create a safe environment for teachers through the use of AUPs, consider becoming engaged in the school's technology PLC, assessing staff members on what they know about the school's AUP, providing places for stakeholders, and staff and administration to sign and date the AUP, and providing accessible information on the AUPs. And here you see my references that I use to find this information, as well as to further my research as it relates to AUP. Once again, thank you so much for staying in for staying abroad and for paying attention, for watching this presentation. I'm Stephen Garrison. Thank you so much.